how important is a book reading in how much has it supported in your life?
The book reading part, and I think primarily because of one reason.
How do they get their children interested in reading books? What would your advice be as parents to them?
Just do what they see their parents.
Yeah,
If they see their parents watching a lot of TV,
they will
they
watch.
will watch TV.
She sees us read books, so she reads.
So, in your HR field, you would have come across people who are different than the others.
We have all seen Mahabharata, right? If you just change the narration, so I have read multiple narrations of Mahabharata.
What would your advice be in terms of investment? कि investment के तरफ कैसे ध्यान होना चाहिए?
So that I think finding a right investment advisor like you is also very, very critical.
Absolutely.
And I'll be very honest, I'm not saying this because I'm sitting in front of you here.
Women in general don't take much interest in money, investments. So, what would your advice be?
Absolutely.
Good afternoon, Vikrant, Kriti. Thank you for coming on your birthday, in fact. So, from all of us, wishing you a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
So, to start, can you give me some background about your current designation and what you're doing?
So, I am with an organization called GlaxoSmithKline, popularly known as GSK. It's almost a 300-year-old biopharma company. And I take care of the R&D functions as an HR business partner. So I'm the global HR business partner for R&D at GSK right now. What I do is primarily three major things. I'm part of the HR team, so I majorly work on three areas. The first one being leadership development, because we strongly believe that the true leaders take the organization in the right direction. They guide, motivate, take care of the employees, and take them in the right direction where the organization is heading. So a lot of my time goes into the leadership development, in guiding them, coaching them. The second aspect, because it's a human resources function, so it's primarily focused on identifying the right talent, not just for the problems that we have today, but how do you get the talent ready or identify the talent for the future? What is my talent need 18 months down the line? Let's say if generative AI comes into picture, how does my talent requirement changes? What are my competitors doing? What are the business ecosystems changing?
So, anticipating
And preparing the organization for those kind of talent needs in the future is another major aspect. The third major aspect is culture. I mean, a lot of organizations focused on what they want to do, but how it has to be done is equally important. And culture plays a huge role in getting there in the right way, setting the performance culture, setting the culture of collaboration, teamwork. That makes a lot of difference. So these are primarily my three major problem statement that I work on. Yeah.
again, yours is also a HR role. So, very rare occasions we meet wherein both husband and wife are, in the HR, and both of you are very successful in your respective fields and very, very unique fields. So, please tell me something about your current role.
Yeah, definitely. So I am an HR business partner at Atlassian. Atlassian it's an Australia headquartered company, primarily in the tech space, and we make softwares that help teams be more productive and operate well, right? So a lot of people would have heard of products like Jira and Confluence and Atlas, Bitbucket, right? So developer communities across the world use these products extensively. So that's the company that I work with. I'm also in an HR role, like Vikrant, and similar sort of space, right? Given that technology first companies that care deeply for employees and how we are growing people internally, how we are able to develop folks, right? So I think that's the kind of space that I also operate in. And day to day, I would say part of my role involves coaching leaders, senior leadership on a regular basis in terms of how they should be thinking about their organization design, how they should be thinking about succession planning, how they should, to Vikrant's point, right? Think of the macroeconomic situation, how are the markets changing, and how can we as a company develop our people, our structures to be robust enough to, adopt to those macroeconomic situations. So that's the kind of space that I also operate in. And like to your point, both of us being in HR, I think when we were getting married, my grandfather actually said that it's just think if you want to be in the same space because you're essentially you're taking your work back home with you, right? But and you know how like there is this variety if you are in different fields and there's different things that you can talk about. But for us, thankfully, that has never been a challenge. So we do a lot of discussions on a day-to-day basis in terms of the nature of problems that we face at work and how we are kind of support each other, discuss, and our daughter has also started picking up terminologies now.
Okay. So a junior
Yeah,
HR
she
at home.
yeah, absolutely. So I think that way, that synergy of like what we do at work and how we're able to kind of support each other at home as well, I think that's worked out very, very well.
So how did you guys meet up and
So we both were batchmates at XLR,
okay. So lamba love story hai ye.
kind of. So XLRI we started, we both were part of the flagship HR program of XLRI. And just to give you context, I think it's number one HR MBA across the world, one of the number one.
Very tough to get in.
Very, very
Yeah.
tough to get in. The year we both applied, some 150,000 applicants applied for 120 seats.
Wow. So nearly around less than 1%.
Less than,
Yeah, absolutely.
less than 0.1%.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. Less
Yeah.
than 0.1%. So that's the kind of, and we both were batchmates. We were very good friends. The wavelengths matched.
Yeah.
There's no drama.
So मतलब
in our
love
story.
at first sight वाला सा नहीं हो क्या?
No,
There is no
nothing
drama
like that.
as our love story. We were very good friends.
We actually used to participate in a lot of case study competitions. So in MBA schools, there is this huge deal about like, you learn a lot through practice. So as part of one is obviously your curriculum, and we actually were in separate classes. So a batch of 120 different sections. So we had two sections. I was in section A, he was in B. And we used to make groups, right? So you have study groups and then you have these competitions that other schools kind of organize and then you participate in. So we did a lot of that together. And then I think by the end of 2 years, you are of that age where your parents are like, okay, you're done with grad, post-grad done. Now let's start thinking about the next milestone in life. So we got our parents to meet. We are from the same community as
Okay.
well.
So that helped.
Yeah. so-
Coincidentally, both of our
yeah, we are both gents. So got our parents to meet, and parents were also super happy because, it's like
similar.
very similar backgrounds and then education. So we kind of understand each other and what it takes to support a spouse who is in that kind of a job, right? So I think that way it was, I would feel like a match made in heaven series. Yeah.
One of the things that I know about you guys is you guys are avid book readers. And I've seen a lot of books at your place. मेरे पास book कम पड़ गया आप लोग को recommend करने के लिए. So एक वो भी देखा है, and second thing that I have noticed is Avani, your daughter also is an avid book reader right from the start. So how important is a book reading habit? In how much has it supported in your life? So can you give me some thoughts on that?
See, I think over the years, as I said, I've had multiple kind of hobbies. But
Traveling is
thing
one which I would like to talk.
Traveling is one.
Bike riding is one.
I've tried photography, I've tried bike riding, I've tried everything. But one thing which has remained consistent is the book reading part. And I think primarily because of one reason. It's first of all, there's no inertia to read a book. That's the first.
Yeah, most people don't want to read a book. They
For some,
they want to audiobooks and now the trend.
which is also practically a good format. But for me, I read a lot of fiction. So for me, what happens is that it's a kind of a good break from the daily chaos that we have. More importantly, for me, it's about personalities. Being in HR for so many years, you tend to get perceptions. You tend to kind of identify the personalities and how people might.
So kind of a psychologist.
I wouldn't go to that far, but you start identifying patterns. I mean, what will you do which will make people react such thing? If someone is already reacting in a way,
How do you manage
what
it?
can you do to, control that situation? So the books also gives you a lot of personalities. And when you read a different kind of fictions across the world, and now I'm in, let's say, in a global HR business partner, also a lot of cultural nuance also comes into picture. So if you read fictions, let's say from Japan, from Europe, from Middle East, that gives you a perspective of the cultural nuances also. Let's say if someone is behaving somewhere, if you talk to a Polish person, I'm not stereotyping here, but you talk to a Polish person, in the first instance, they will all usually appear very rude to you, which is not the case. They are not rude. It's just their way of
Very straightforward, very direct.
very straightforward. So the books gives you also a lot of perspective around things, which again in turn helps me in my work. But more than that, I think it's a good break for me to read a good fiction, to read a good story, and learn about it. When it comes to very recently, I started again non-fiction books as well. So again, a lot of ideas you can relate, and when you kind of reflect back, you understand ki, okay, this idea, how could I have used it in one of the situations that I faced at work? So that kind of it's a good hobby, gives me break, also gives me a lot of perspective around people. So yeah, that has helped me a lot.
How much books have helped you, and fiction के अलावा do you read any other things?
I do. So I actually, I have been a reader since I can't even remember, like since I was of a very young age. My grandfather reads a lot. He is 90 plus, and even like to this day, he reads. He's an avid reader. And like he can't hear properly anymore, so it's hard for him to communicate. But we've got him onboarded on WhatsApp. So now whatever nice books, articles he reads, he actually sends all of us like summaries on WhatsApp, and he says, here is how. So that's how like my love for reading started. My mom used to read a lot. And I started, of course, with fiction, how kids do, and like with comics and everything. But that has remained constant. I would say it by reading dwindled a little bit when like you get into acads and there's just like so much to do. But then I think after getting married and seeing that Vikrant also has that kind of an inclination, now we both have picked up, and along with our daughter. So I also enjoy fiction a lot because again, for me, reading is pure joy because it helps you kind of, enter a different world altogether, and you're able to kind of understand different cultures to Vikrant's point, or, just it's an escape from, day to day and like that. But we also do read a lot of books around. So we have these different sections in our library. So there's fiction, and then we also do a lot of like books around MBA and like business management, HR, right? So in our curriculum, for example, what Vikrant was saying, we used to have a subject called OB, organizational behavior. So we've had different levels, basic to advanced to intermediate, right? In terms of how individuals behave, how teams behave, how larger organizations behave. So it's very interesting when you kind of use that theory and kind of apply it in practice. So we read a lot of books around, let's say, how Starbucks was built out, or like, for example, Shoe Dog, right? Like Nike. So how these large companies were built, what were the good practices that they applied, and that helps us a lot in our jobs as well, because you learn from others' mistakes, you learn from how other people have, demonstrated success, and that helps us a lot in our day-to-day lives. And I think our daughter also reads a lot now.
7. So many couples maybe don't read as much as you do. एक तो कॉलेज का इतना पढ़ाई करके आ गए, बोले बहुत हो गया पढ़ाई करने का.
Yeah.
So how do they get their children interested in reading books? What would your advice be as parents to them? So that their kids at least start reading books, or तो कौन से स्टेज से books शुरू करने का, so that they get interested. And as you see, after COVID के बाद people are more into mobiles and stuff. So what have you done differently so that your daughter has not got into that particular tendency? She still reads.
The important thing is to start early on, because with Avni, even before that, so Avni has been very fond of stories. So when she was very, very young, and I love singing, by the way. So he would tell her a lot of stories, like he would narrate, and I would sing. So like songs
So when
and
she was a
rhymes
toddler,
and
that
everything.
time it's in.
Yeah, like
Maybe around year and a half.
I started singing to her when she was like a month old. So even if she can't comprehend anything, I would sing and he would tell stories. She was a very light sleeper. So, like, how do you keep a child and yourself engaged, right? So, that's how we used to do. And then, of course, beyond a certain point, you start running out of stories. And
You
then,
invent stories.
yeah. So, we would make stories for her. And then we just thought that let's start getting her introduced to picture books.
So after
Then
1.5
we would
years,
Around 2.5 years, we started introducing her to a lot of picture
can you
books.
can you
Picture
recommend
books.
any?
So a lot of Julia Donaldson books, like Gruffalo's Child, Room on a Broom, kind of very nice thin books, but it is
And very
simple
pictorial, illustrations.
and simple stories, very simple stories for people, kids to understand.
Yeah.
That got her interested. So initially she used to just look at pictures.
So
then
we would read and then, she would look at the pictures. Then she started just picking up, she would pick the books and just flip through. And then she tried to read, so she would recognize words. And then we got her into those level 1, level 2 books where she could read, right? So like there are five words on a page, lots of
Okay.
pictures. That's how she started. And then I think the other thing is we read, right? So we made it like a ritual that every night before going to bed, people usually watch TV and then they would switch off the TV and sleep. We all three of us, like
very-
bedtime reading is a routine. So we read for 15-20 minutes and then we sleep. So all three of us, like maybe different books, and that's how.
just do what they see their parents.
Yeah,
If they see their parents watching a lot of TV,
they will watch.
they watch TV.
She sees us read books, so she reads.
I think that all
Yeah, I think that's
is one.
one of the biggest things. I think that is because I don't think we've watched TV for a while.
One more thing which kind of I personally feel is we have always given her a lot of supply of books.
Yeah,
We take her to bookshops where every couple of weeks we take her to a bookshop, ask her to pick any 2 books. So then it becomes exciting for her. Okay, she's making a choice to pick up a book. So that kind of gets her interested as well. Keep a constant supply of books.
Yeah. And I think, so for example, her favorite pastime is to go to a bookshop. So on weekends, we ask her, what do you want to do? And she's like, okay, let's go to a bookshop. So she'll go there, spend some time, browse through. We have made it a very engaging activity versus just going to a bookstore and picking
Okay.
something. So we go there, we spend like an hour and a half, we browse through a lot of sections, we read a couple of we taught her to read blurbs. So she reads that and are you interested? Are you not? So we've kind of developed it as a very easy.
It's actually easy to just order from Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's even
Yeah,
cheaper.
exactly.
Yeah.
But then you don't
Yeah,
get the
pre-owned
same,
books also many available.
but
Yeah.
you don't get the
The
same.
same-
feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go to a bookshop and she just sees like 3-4 floors of books and then picking the right 2 books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives her the joy.
So for example, we told her that, okay, you get 2 books today. So you go explore and find the best ones like that you are really
Okay. So you have
interested in.
given her the freedom to pick and choose.
Yeah. Yeah. So she picks, of course, like age appropriate and all of that. So we tell her. So for example, we both are huge Harry Potter fans. We got her introduced to Harry Potter. So we've not introduced her to all the books because, there are some books which are a little darker, age appropriate, right? So she's been asking us for the next book, but we've told her no, after,
Certainly.
certain age. So she's okay. So she reads, rereads. We do quizzes with her on what all books she reads. So we quiz each other as a family. So I think that's just making it more than just reading. It's not just about reading a book, but it's a whole, I would say, culture itself. Books being
Experience.
a culture. Yeah, it's a
So in your HR field, you would have come across people who are different than the others. So have you seen a particular trend that because of a book reading habit, it has developed? Just in your case also, आपका भी development काफी book से हुआ है.
See, I mean, definitely. I mean, you meet people from very, very different kind of backgrounds. Forget about the diversity part that people generally talk about, being your gender diversity, your differently able diversity, your orientation diversity. All these are true, but I mean, a very simple fact that we are living in India. A culture of a Maharashtrian is very different from a Kannadiga, from a Marwari, from a Gujarati. There are so many cultures, and as I said, I mean, when I'm reading about different cultures in those books, different people, it kind of opens you up to a lot of perspectives. I mean, I'll take a very simple example. I mean, we have all seen Mahabharata, right? Very, very, very common story in India. Almost everyone knows Mahabharata. Uh, a very interesting story like Mahabharata. If you just change the narration, so I've read multiple narrations of Mahabharata. One narration I read was the entire Mahabharata from the perspective of Draupadi. One narration I read, which was entire Mahabharata from the perspective of Karna. That changes everything, and that kind of opens you up to accepting that people come from very different backgrounds and they have a lot of context behind whatever they are doing, and that's very, very important to understand. You tend to become much more
And open,
patient.
basically. You understand there are
Patient
two
and
sides of a
Open-minded.
coin.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
not just one way.
They're not just two sides.
Multiple
They're
sides, multiple
multiple
sides of a
sides.
coin.
A same person can behave differently
Yeah.
in different kind of situations, and every behavior is justified. So it's not just two sides of the coin. It's like so many perspective. Put a person in a certain context, he or she may behave very, very different.
I think it broadens your horizons overall, right? You start thinking about things from different perspectives. And I think even a lot of our close friends, they read books as well. So we've kind of, it's like a tribe. So whenever we meet, we discuss.
Like a book
what
club,
have
kind
you
of, a
read?
informal book club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we recommend books to each other. And it's just, it's a nice, tribe to have exchange books and just like, talk about, okay, what did you like in this or that? And I think to Vikrant's point, it just broadens your horizons. And I personally feel that even when we meet different people, right? I think folks who read a lot more, they tend to be more open than probably others. And I think everyone has their strengths, but I just think book reading just opens you up a lot.
So, if I have to ask your top 2 or 3 favorite books which you would ask people to read, what would that be, Vikrant? At the top of your favorite list?
I think one book which has kind of given me a lot of perspective. It's a huge book. It's called Lord of the
Okay.
Rings.
The Fellowship.
The
Three
book
trilogy.
trilogy, and I think and this is one book which I read like way back, and somehow I have always kind of enjoyed rereading that book again. I mean, it's a huge tome, for a very simple fact of how different species, different people all can still come together under one single leadership, and work towards a common goal. I mean, I don't want to sound philosophical, but yeah, I mean, that's also one very, very huge perspective, what motivates people. So Lord of the Rings has been one very consistent, always top of my chart. I think Mahabharata is my all-time favorite story. I've read so many different versions of Mahabharata, and every version has given me a very different perspective in life. So consistently, Mahabharata is one story. And as Kriti said, I mean, we both are huge Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
It's the magical world.
All the 7 books.
Yeah.
Your
absolutely.
favorites?
Yeah, so my Harry Potter is on the top of my list. There's also this book called Ikigai. So Vikrant actually introduced me
Series.
to it. So I love Ikigai actually, and I think it says very simple things about like how to live your life, and how can you be happy, right? That's essentially the motto of that book. it's a small book, right? And it's just, and I usually, like I said, I never read a lot of like non-fiction before that, but then he was the one who said like, read this, it'll change your perspective. And very simple, actionable things you can do to make changes in your life and be more happy and people around you, right? How to be more positive. I love that book. I think I would recommend it to everybody.
And then one book again, which I would again recommend everyone, is what you gifted me, The Psychology of
Yes.
Money.
Absolutely.
I think every teenager should start reading. I mean, that's the right age. They should understand. And it doesn't talk about investing money. I mean, very honestly, it talks about your relationship with money.
Yeah.
Like any other relationship, what are the pluses and the minuses? So yeah, it talks about your relationship with money. So huge recommendation from my side for Psychology of Money as well.
Vikrant is actually like, color coded that book with like a lot of important things in that, because hard hitting sentences and like very hard hitting facts. So it's not that we've never known those things, right? It's not like it's something mind blowing to say, oh, you go invest this and this is how you'll make more money. It's not about that. It's simply about like understanding how do you work with money.
How you behave around money.
Yeah. I think, and my grandfather always used to say, so when I started working, and he would say that, look, earning money is the first part, is just the first step, and that's not enough. How you manage your money and like how you work with money is what takes a lot of effort and also knowledge. And that's where you need to invest your time. Earning is just one step. There are a lot of people who will earn, and there are different ways to earn. But then how do you grow it? How do you build for the future? How do you also manage for like your future generations, etc., is where the talent of like working with money comes in.
Great. So, Kriti, one of the last questions that I would want to ask is that women in general don't take much interest in money, investments, and all those things. So, what would your advice be to women? Because generally, पहले पापा करते हैं, उसके बाद हस्बैंड करेंगे, उसके बाद बच्चे करते हैं, but they are multitaskers, so they can manage so many things beautifully. Most of our top finance heads in India are women, from Nirmala Sitharaman se leke. So what would your advice be for women to manage money, investments?
Absolutely. I think one of the problems that contributes, like one of the let me rephrase that. One of the things that contributes to that problem, right, to say women don't manage money, is also because there is always this perception that maths is not for women, right? And like men are the ones who manage finances, men are the ones who understand maths better, accounting, like all of those things. I think that's kind of also built upon this, I would say, myth. And then women, it's the self-fulfilling sort of prophecy, right? So women are like, "Acha, theek hai. This is not my cup of tea, you just go deal with it." Maybe it's to the spouses or to the, parents, etc. But I think as we become more aware, and now we're talking so much about like women in workforce, there are so many initiatives being taken to kind of, bring women back to work and things like that. It's like I was saying earlier, it's not just about earning. It's nothing complicated. It's just about understanding how your finances work and what do you need to kind of be self-sustainable. How do you make more of what you already have, right? So it's not about creating a big deal out of, oh my God, this is such a complicated situation to be in and I don't want to deal with it. It's very simple. Go back to the basics. There is so much of, I would say, information out there. Pick the right resources, pick the right advisors. And I think it also helps us emulate the right behaviors with our next generation. To say, yes, it's not about women need to depend on men for a certain thing, right? It's about being self-sufficient, understanding, being an equal partner, I would say, in every aspect of the way. That would be my advice.
Investment is also an equal part.
Absolutely.
So, Vikrant, what would your advice be in terms of investment? कि investment के तरफ कैसे ध्यान होना चाहिए? Because you are so busy in your roles and the book भी पढ़ते हो, तो ये time कैसे निकालते हो investment के लिए?
My philosophy has been very simple, a very, very simple equation. What a lot of people do is earning minus expenses is saving. For me, It is same equation, but then differently rearranged. Earning minus saving is it.
Okay.
Save first and spend later. You know how much you need, and I mean you plan around that thing.
Pay yourself
Pay
first.
yourself first.
Save first, and
Save
then
first.
start.
Yeah.
It should not be okay. I earn 100 rupees. I spend 80 rupees. Jo bach gaya, I will save. It should be I earn 100 rupees. I want to save 35, and then I will only spend the remaining 55 of them. Investment is both very simple and complicated. I mean, the simple thing is that yes, a very basic habit is I need to save. I need to save and invest in the right instruments. A lot of time, just understanding this part itself is a very, very big deal, which I very honestly say a lot of people don't even understand that part. That just start saving, invest in multiple areas. You have very
Gold hai,
basic
property
things,
hai,
very
FD
basic
hai.
things
Gold.
like gold, FD, property, and everything. And over and above that, I think finding a right investment advisor like you is also very, very
Yeah.
critical.
Absolutely.
And I'll be very honest, I'm not saying this because I'm sitting in front of you here. I used to do a lot of things, but then it takes time. Again, a lot of people are very interested in doing that. And if you are interested, very good. Please go ahead. If you have the bandwidth to understand the financial aspects of anything and everything, why you're investing in whatever organization or mutual fund that you're investing in, good, nothing like it. But I personally, I am very interested, but definitely don't have the time. I don't have the bandwidth to do all those things. And that's where finding the right partner is very, very critical.
Thank you.
So, yeah. And trust your partner,
Yeah.
very honestly. And good things take time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good things take time.
It should not, your money
Will not multiply over.
will not double in 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah.
It will take time to be patient with.
Yeah.
And trust your financial advisor is what my recommendation.
Great. So thank you, Vikrant. Thank you for your time. I know that we would have loved to spend more time with you and take a lot of your, pick your brains because there are so many things. But thank you very much for your time and looking forward to a longer session than this. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat.
Thank